My name is Margaret Ann Whitaker. I turned 68 last April, though no one in my family remembered to call. That Christmas Eve, however, they certainly remembered me, long enough to hand me the gift that ended everything. The living room smelled of cinnamon candles and fresh pine. Fairy lights twinkled across the mantel. My son Daniel's house in the suburbs had never looked more magazine perfect.
White sofa.
Throw pillows arranged just so, a towering tree dripping with silver ornaments the grandchildren had chosen online. Everyone was there. Daniel, his wife Lauren, their 2 children, Ethan, 12, and little Sophie, 7, my middle son Ryan, who'd flown in from Denver, and even Lauren's sister Claire with her new fiancé. The A Talent show had been Lauren's idea, a way to make memories, she said. We'd already endured off-key carols from Ethan on guitar, Sophie's ballet routine in sparkly tights, Ryan's terrible stand-up routine about airport food, and Lauren's dramatic reading of It Was the Night Before Christmas with theatrical pauses. Then Lauren clapped her hands. Margaret's turn. I hadn't prepared anything. I never did. I was the audience, the photographer, the one who refilled drinks and cleared plates. But Lauren crossed the room holding a flat, beautifully wrapped box tied with wide red ribbon. Open it, Margaret. It's from all of us. The room went quiet in that expectant, smiling way families do before a big reveal. I smiled back, nervous, hopeful, slid the ribbon off, lifted the lid. Inside was a large framed photograph. Daniel, Lauren, Ethan, Sophie, arms around each other on the beach last summer. A perfect postcard family. Except my face from the same photo, where I'd been standing just behind them, was missing. Someone had carefully cut it out with an X-Acto knife and replaced the empty oval with a cartoon question mark, the kind you see in comic strips when a character is confused. Below the photo, in elegant gold calligraphy on a cream card, to the woman who's always around, maybe find your own spotlight somewhere else. Love, the real family Zoxo for 2 full seconds, the room held its breath. Then Daniel barked a laugh. Lauren covered her mouth, shoulders shaking. Ryan snorted into his wine glass. Ethan giggled because the adults were. Sophie looked confused but joined in anyway. Come on, Mom, Daniel said, still chuckling. It's just banter. You've been so sensitive lately. Lighten up. It's Christmas. I stared at the frame. My fingers went cold around the edges. The cartoon question mark stared back like an accusation. Sophie tugged my sleeve. Grandma, why's your picture gone? Lauren swooped in before I could answer. Sweetie, it's a joke. Grandma knows we love her, right, Margaret? I set the frame down on the coffee table very carefully, as if it might explode. I think I have a headache coming on, I said. My voice sounded far away. Daniel rolled his eyes good-naturedly. Already? You just got here 2 hours ago. I'll call an Uber, I murmured. Lauren waved a hand. Oh, don't be dramatic. Stay for presents at least. I didn't. The drive home took 37 minutes. Snow flurries danced in the headlights. I kept the radio off. The framed photo sat on the passenger seat like a silent passenger. Every few blocks I glanced at that stupid question mark and felt something inside me shift. Not break, exactly, but rearrange itself into something harder, clearer. When I pulled into my driveway, the same modest ranch house I'd bought in 1989 after the divorce, the Christmas lights I'd strung along the porch were still blinking cheerfully. I left them on. I didn't want darkness tonight. Inside, I poured a glass of the good Cabernet I usually saved for company that never came. Then I sat at the kitchen table. The same oak table where I'd helped with homework, bandaged knees, planned weddings, cried over funerals, and let the memory reel begin. Everything, the investment accounts, the shares, the house upon my death, to a combination of women's shelters and scholarships for single mothers going back to school. Grandchildren would receive $25,000 each at age 21, but only after submitting a handwritten letter, minimum 500 words, explaining what they loved and appreciated about their grandmother beyond financial support. If no letter by their 22nd birthday, the money reverted to the scholarship fund. I spent Boxing Day writing the letters. To Daniel, you were my first baby. I remember the night you were born, how tiny your fingers were. I've kept every card you ever gave me. Over the years I gave you. Second mortgage for law school, $142,000 principal plus interest I covered. $110,000 COVID loan, of which $90,000 remains unpaid. Countless smaller lifelines. The framed photo with the question mark was creative. Cruel, but creative. Consider this my RASVP. I won't be attending any more family events where my presence is the punchline. The monthly help stops today. The loan is now officially a gift I'm regretting. Merry Christmas. To Emily, you called me a mommy even before you married my son. I rocked Sophie when you couldn't. I cooked every meal in that house for 8 months. I never asked for thanks. I certainly never expected mockery. The automatic transfers to your household account are cancelled. If you need to speak, my door is closed until genuine remorse replaces sarcasm. To Lauren, you planned the talent show. Subby, you wrapped the gift. You laughed the loudest. I've never once criticised your housekeeping, your parenting, your choices. Yet you decided my face didn't belong in your family portrait. That told me everything I needed to know. No more holiday invitations. No more adjust in case it checks. Enjoy your spotlight. To Ryan, you stayed quiet during the laughter. That hurt worse than the laughter itself. I paid for 2 rehabs. I never judged. I only loved. If you want a relationship, you know my number. If you want money, you'll have to find another source. To Ethan and Sophie, I love you more than words. The trust awaits you at 21 if you write me a letter telling me who I was to you beyond grandma with the wallet. If you don't remember, that's okay. I'll still love you from afar. I printed 3 copies of each letter, sealed them in plain white envelopes, drove to Daniel's house at 7:04 a.m. on the 27th while they were still asleep, and left them in the mailbox with no return address. Then I listed the house. It sold in 11 days. Cash buyer. No contingencies. Closing was January 15. I kept only what fit in my car. Clothes, books, my mother's pearl earrings, the good cookware, a few photo albums. Everything else went to auction or donation. I bought a 2-bedroom condo in Sarasota, Florida. Bright, 3rd floor, balcony overlooking the Gulf. White walls, turquoise accents, morning sun. The first night I slept with the sliding door open, listening to waves instead of silence. The call started January 20. Daniel first. Mum, what the hell? The grocery money didn't come through. And what's this about a loan being regretted? I let it go to voicemail. Lauren next. Margaret, this is childish. We were joking. Come over Sunday. We'll talk. Voicemail. Ryan, I didn't laugh. I swear. Call me back. I didn't, Emily texted. Please don't do this to the kids. I blocked the number. By February, the tone changed. Daniel, the mortgage is tight this month. Can we at least discuss the $90 ask? It was family help. Lauren via email. The children miss you. Don't punish them for adult humour. I changed my phone number in March. Now it's December again. Almost a full year since the question mark Christmas. I volunteer 3 mornings a week at the local Women's Resource Centre, teaching basic cooking classes to young mothers starting over. Tuesday evenings, I go to watercolour painting at the community college. My instructor says I have a good eye for light. I've made friends, real ones, who know my name, not my checkbook. Last week we had a potluck. I brought my grandmother's shortbread recipe. They asked for seconds and thirds. I still miss the grandchildren sometimes, fiercely. But missing them doesn't mean I have to accept being erased. The condo is quiet tonight. I've strung fairy lights along the balcony railing. There's a small tree in the corner, decorated with shells I collected on the beach and a single star at the top. No talent show, no wrapped insults. I poured another glass of Cabernet, the same bottle I opened that Christmas Eve, and raised it to the Gulf. To the woman who finally found her own spotlight, I whispered. The waves answered back, word count. Approximately 4,020.